Welcome to session 3 for Empower Your Presentations. Make first contact. So let's get after this. So make first contact is your marketing. Now, when you're marketing, you have to get others at ease by being at ease yourself. You can't be goofing around and jumping around and doing all sorts of stuff. You've got to get, this is your opportunity to make your first contact, to meet people. You must make meeting you easy. And first impressions are priceless. You only get one chance to make a good first impression. So again, how do you come into a room? How are you dressed? Now, I understand there's a lot of different choices in all this, but the point is, are you dressed and do you act consistent with the customer you're looking for? One of the suggestions made to me by one of my mentors many years ago is always dress one level above of your prospect. Now, some people subscribe to that, some don't, but I think it's a great suggestion for consideration going forward. One of the concepts I teach consistently is become an asset to everyone you meet. Again, an acronym. Acronyms are easy to learn and remember. An asset is a spontaneous servant every time. Become a spontaneous servant every time, the rest takes care of itself. What do I mean? The chances of somebody needing what you do when they first meet you is maybe 5%. The chances of them needing to know somebody you know or something you know is probably 95%. So while they don't necessarily need to meet you professionally, they do need to meet you intellectually. And so if you're a spontaneous servant, so one of the things I'll say to people very quickly is, great to meet you. How can I be of service? It lays it out there right away. Become a spontaneous servant every time. The rest takes care of itself. Become a hub to their spoke. People are looking for collaboration. They're looking for success with their own business. So be a hub to their spoke. Well, no, I don't necessarily sell nutraceutical products, but I do know people that buy them from time to time. So is it okay if I direct them to you so that you could take care of them? Well, I would love that. See, this is a way to create relationship along the way. And it also, who knows, they could be a hub to your spoke going forward as well. Bottom line is people do business with those they know, like, and trust. You've heard this over and over again, but you can't say it enough. And so the way that I teach it is I say, assume, even if people know you, that they don't know you. And if they don't know you, assume that they don't like you. And assume if they don't like you, they certainly don't trust you. And if trust is imperant, is so important in doing business, it has to be there. That means by definition, you have to start and build know, like, and trust in that order. First, you have to get them to know you. That's this making first contact. Then you got to get them to like you. And then you earn their trust. Now, what just popped up to me is this is why there's no place in business for sarcasm. Oh, Scott, you're just not trying to be funny. No, sarcasm only is funny to the person giving it, not to the person it's targeted at. I can assure you that. The other thing is, if we know that it's about know, like, and trust, if you kneecap somebody because you're sarcastic to them, will they like you quicker? Probably not. Remember, you're going to trust, you're striving for trust, but you got to get through know and like to get there. So again, just be cautious on what you do. Become a quality of life merchant. Everybody is living their dream, whatever that version of that is for them. We are quality of life merchants. It is our job to help other people achieve quality of life. Because remember, as Zig says, you can have everything in life you want when you help enough other people get what they want. So be that quality of life merchant to somebody. Building rapport is job one. Really simple. So the first sale is getting your prospect's approval. That's really it. It's the know you. the like you. That's the first thing that has to happen. That's why we use systems, and systems are save yourself time, energy, and money. That's right. You put systems in place to aid you along the way. Success is a numbers game. It truly is. Every presentation situation depends on numbers. And yes, we can argue back and forth how accurate this is and whatever, but the reality is the more numbers that you have available to you, the more people you can process. The more people you know, the more people they know. It becomes simple that way. So again, you don't have to rely everything on numbers, but it doesn't hurt. Now, why do I say this? Because many years ago, when I started my sales career, I started in the insurance business. And they said, if you make 10 calls, you'll get 3 appointments, which will allow you 2 closing opportunities, which will get you 1 sale. And that's the way we were trained. And I said, okay, well, I was able to make 5 calls, get 4 appointments, get 4 closes, and close 4 sales. I looked at that as being more efficient. When I got called into the district manager's office, you know what he said? You're not making enough you're not making enough calls. See, he was trained that it's all about the numbers. It's somewhat all about the numbers, but there are other places where the numbers apply. If you can close better than 20% or 10% is what this is, 1 sale on 10 calls, I'd get 4 sales on 5 calls. That's 80%. 80% is better than 10%. So you start to understand where I'm going with that, hopefully. The idea is go for the yes. Let's get people moving along. So what do? We do lead generation. How do we do that? We can do it so many different ways these days, through the internet, through Facebook, through social media, through whatever. The bottom line is we have to develop awareness. People have to know you exist. Now, what are good ways of doing that? Customer testimonials. I say this all the time to people. I mean, literally every day this will come out in some conversation. You telling me you're awesome, I believe you. You seem like a nice person, but what do I expect you to say? You're not awesome? You're not telling me anything I don't expect. But if somebody else says you're awesome, and then the question is asked to you, why are you so awesome? And you just confirm what they have said about you, it's no longer egotistical or arrogant. It's now simply informational. Customer testimonials are the best way to do this. That's why you have social proof on social media. You have to have a social media presence. Well, I don't like X. Don't care if you don't or not. Customers do. I don't like LinkedIn. It's too stodgy. I don't care if you like it or not. Customers do. You got to, again, we said this earlier, you fish where the fish are. You got to go to where your avatar is, and you got to have a web presence. And that web presence should look professional. Things should be spelled right. I know that seems like common sense. You know how many people miss that? Lead generation continues with webinars or summits. I was just asked to be on a summit last night. I got a couple webinars coming up. How about video sales letters? Now, they're not as hot as they once were. At one time, those were the things. How about a podcast or a TV show? So much easier to do today than they were when they first came out. How about becoming a pod guest? How about becoming an expert guest? You're an expert in your field. You don't have to have your own podcast. In fact, I'm on somebody's podcast today, and they're in the accounting business. Now, I'm not an accountant, but I am in small business. So I'm in a complementary area. I'm coming on as an expert guest in this situation. How about in person? Well, then we talk about workshops. Have a 1-day, half-day, 2-day workshop. How about trade shows? Now it's funny. Somebody was talking to me about they heard I was going out to Vegas not too distant future and said, Are you working a trade show? I said, well, the only way I work trade shows is in reverse. And they said, what do you mean? They said, I don't get booths. I get tickets to go to the trade show. See, the people who are in the booths are stuck in the booths. They've got the booth. They can't move. I know where their booth is. They can't really escape a conversation if I want to have it. So again, great way. You just have to think a little different. How about live events? Live events equal revenue. It's just that simple. And speaking on stage, I've shared with you, I've done over 3,000 live events, sold millions of dollars of products. But you know what? I've also sold millions of dollars of ideas, monetary exchange, but an exchange of thought, transformation, things like that. Where else could you do lead generation in person? How about coffee shops? Great spot. I mean, people love their coffee, don't they? And they're very consistent with it. How about networking events? Quite frankly, any place where people congregate, you can create lead generation in person if that's what you're after and doing. But building rapport is a process, and it's your number one job. Now, this module alone has created tremendous success for a number of people, especially the introverts out there. So please take advantage of this opportunity and study this, learn this, listen to this. Each step here is valuable and independent. And it's possible to miss a step or two and have success in the short term, but I wouldn't suggest it. And the first step leads to the back, to the last, back to the front, and you get started again. It's just that simple as you do this. So let's get into 7 steps of building rapport in a minute and a half or less. Think we can do it? I know we can. I do it every day. By the way, for those of you who are in the dating scene, this is a great way to get dates. Yeah, this isn't just for business. Are you kidding me? How you do this is the exact same way. So take close concentration on all this. The first step is a friendly greeting. So how complex does a friendly greeting have to be? Well, let me give you a couple. Hi. Good morning. Great to see you. Now, notice they weren't, hi. Good morning. Oh, great to see you. See, my inflection, my tone, my voice, my physiology need to greet that. This is a friendly greeting. Remember, people do business with they know, like, and trust. We're working on know. We're getting them to like us quickly. If we're friendly, they're going to like us faster than if we're grumpy. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. So, hi, good morning. Great to see you. You got that down so far? All right, let's move on. Second step is introduction and exchange of names. Hi, my name is Scott. And yours? Tom? Hi, my name is Scott, and yours is Tom. Now, why do we want their name? Well, their name is their prized possession. Their mommy and daddy gave it to them. I mean, it's something they've had their entire life. There's nothing so sweet as to hear your own name called. Now, make sure that when they give you your name, that you remember it and give the right name. Now, this is the point where people say, well, Scott, you just don't understand. I'm bad at names. No, you're not. If you could remember anything else, you can remember a name. You just haven't focused on it. You're not listening. So when you say, my name is Scott and yours is, lean in, dial everything else out. I'm going to give you an entire process. You don't have to think past this. Your focus at this point is to hear their name. Tom. Got it. I'm going to use Tom's name over and over again so I lock it in. Make sense? Good. Let's get to step 3. This isn't taking so long, is it? Extend gratitude. Now, this is potentially the most important step of the 7 steps. Why? Number of reasons. It shows appreciation in class. It gives you the opportunity to restate their name. And quite frankly, most people don't extend gratitude. So if I say, "Hi, my name is Scott, and yours is Tom. Tom, thank you for taking a moment to talk with me." Wow. Remember, we're going for know, like, and eventually trust. Well, I know you now. Your name is Scott, and you just thanked me. That was very polite. I kind of like you. Do you understand? We're moving up the know, like, and trust ladder by doing this. Hi, my name is Scott, and yours is Tom. Tom, I appreciate the opportunity to chat with you. Thanks for taking a minute or two of your time. It's pretty simple so far, isn't it? We on it? Okay, the next is get to the point. A pride statement. Now, you can say this a lot of different ways. You could say, put the name of an organization in here. At Be Connected, we pride ourselves on getting to know everyone that comes to our events. At Team Referral Networking, we pride ourselves on getting to know everyone that comes to our event. At XYZ Corporation, we pride ourselves on getting to know everyone that comes to our event. This is the only place where you actually put some pride of your organization. At Schilling Sales and Marketing, we pride ourselves on getting to know everyone that comes to our events. Make sense? This is the only place where we really show pride. So now, how many seconds are we into? Remember, this is 7 steps to building rapport in a minute and a half or less. Hi, my name is Scott, and yours is Tom. Tom, great to meet you. Thank you for taking a few minutes to chat with me. At Schilling Sales and Marketing, we pride ourselves on getting to know everyone that comes to our events. We're not even at 20 seconds yet. We got a lot of time here. Step 5 is the nitty-gritty. Well, what's the nitty-gritty? So what brought you out? Or you can say, what did you like best about? I call this building the dream. This is kind of the dream vision. So again, we've now, after our pride statement, we ask the question, what brought you to this Starbucks? What brought you to this event? What brought you to, how are we talking? What event created you being here? You understand where you're going with this? What brought you out to Schilling Sales and Marketing? Well, my friend said your lessons are awesome and they've helped them immensely. What did you like best about what your friend said? It's a formulaic question. I like the fact that all of a sudden they had a revenue spike after working with you. Yeah, that's awesome, isn't it? Do you understand? We're now starting to build a dream. So what would you do if you had a revenue spike like that? Wow, I think I'd buy a new car. Really cool. What kind of car? Well, I'd get myself a BMW M3. Awesome. What color? Man, I love that bright blue color. I just think it's so sharp. So who's going to ride with you in your new blue M3? Do you understand where I'm going with this? I don't care where we go. I'm not trying to get them anywhere. I am building their dream and talking about them expanding their world. That's what the nitty-gritty stage is all about. Now it continues. You listen to what they say, you pick out a word, a concept, or phrase, and you design a new question and you return it, you ask it. This is called active listening. So notice what I was doing when I was role-playing with myself there. Hey, what brought you out? Oh, I heard you do amazing events. Awesome. Where'd you hear that? Oh, from my friend Bill. Awesome. What'd you like best about what Bill said? He said that his revenue spiked immediately after being at one of your events. Well, what are you going to do when your revenue spikes? I'm going to get me a new car. What kind of car are you going to get? I'm going to get a BMW M3. What color is that BMW? Oh, it's going to be that bright blue. Who are you going to take for rides in that bright blue M3? I'm going to take my girlfriend. Tell me about her. How awesome is she? Oh, she's amazing. Do you understand? We're just going. I'm listening to what an answer is. I'm picking a word, a concept, a phrase, designing a new question, sending it back in. Now, this takes practice, but you can do it. How do I know? Because I learned it, and you can learn it too. And I'll help you learn it. That's what we're here for. 6 is the wrap up. It's been great getting to know you. Now, let's say you're at a live event. About 2/3 of the way through the next presentation, you're going to see something that knocks your socks off. That's called setting an appointment inside the next presentation. Now, did you tell them what to look for? Nope. You gave them a time frame, about 2/3 of the way in. Now, do they know how long the presentation is? Nope. So do they know when 2/3 is? Nope. What it does is it puts them on notice to constantly be looking for potential awesome stuff. About 2/3 of the way through this presentation, you're going to see something, man, I know it's going to blow your socks off. And then we move into separation. Now, I love to meet and greet as many people as I possibly can here. So I'm going to excuse myself and go talk to some other people. Got it? We just excused ourselves. We created separation from the conversation. Okay? And then 7th step is the follow-up. I look forward to hearing about your experience with us after the event. Thank you again for your time. I look forward to hearing about. Notice it doesn't say, I look forward to answering any of your questions, because if I say, I'm here to answer your questions, you set the expectation they'll have questions. I look forward to hearing the positive experience they had because of the last thing they did together. Thank you again for your time. Again, extend gratitude. Is that cool or what? 7 steps to building rapport in a minute and a half or less. And yes, it truly works that way. Now, let's go through it again. What are they? 7 steps. A friendly greeting. Introduce yourself. Extend gratitude. Get to the point. Nitty-gritty. The wrap-up. The follow-up. How would you use this at a Starbucks? Hi, my name is Scott, and yours is? Tom? Tom, thanks for taking a minute to talk with me while we stand here in line and wait for our turn. Now, I know when I meet people, I love to know as much about them as I possibly can as quickly as I can. And what the heck, we're in line here anyway. What brought you to Starbucks? Well, I love the caramel macchiato. Awesome. Me too. What do you like best about it? Well, I just think it's a great pick-me-up drink. Well, once it picks you up, what are you going to do? Oh, I'm going to the office and I'm going to make a gazillion calls and have a great day. Great. What is it that you do? Oh, I do X, Y, and Z. I bet you're really successful. Are you one of the top folks? Well, I like to think I am. Wow, Tom, you know what? This is really awesome. And my time to work with the barista here, I love to meet and greet people. As you can tell, we're standing in line here at Starbucks, but I'm going to order my coffee. And then I look forward to hearing more about your situation after we get our coffee. You want to chat more? Yeah, that'd be great. See how it works? That's a Starbucks. How about a honky tonk, Scott? You're down in Texas. Does it work in a honky tonk? Of course it does. Hi, my name is Scott, and yours is Tracy. Tracy, thank you so much for taking a minute to talk with me. You look lovely. Now, I'd love to get to know pretty women like you who are standing by the dance floor. What brought you out? Man, I love country western music. Great. What do you like most about it? Well, I like the messages, I like the words, and if you play them backwards, you get everything back. Oh, you're pretty funny. That's pretty awesome. You know, it's been cool getting to know you a little bit here, and I don't know. I mean, my buddies are calling. I kind of need to get back and go talk to them for a minute, but I'd love to have the opportunity to come back and ask you for a dance when the right song comes on. Would that be okay with you? Thank you so much. I'll see you again soon. The exact same 7 steps is how you meet somebody in a honky tonk, in a Starbucks, in a business meeting, online, face to face. This is a powerful lesson. Creating rapport comes down to taking the time necessary to find out some intimate details about the person you have met. That's it. It's about being interested, not interesting. Be interested in them. And when you do that, it's amazing what happens. Building rapport is about being present in the moment and co-creating an experience with another person. Pretty simple. Why do you do it? Because people do business with those they know, like, and trust. And in order to do business, it's imperative that they trust you, which means it's also imperative that they get to know you and get to like you. Trust is earned. You smile a little bit, you're friendly, they get to know you a little bit. Because you smile and you're friendly, they kind of like you. But trust is earned. You got to get through the first 2 gatekeepers to get to the real meat of getting into business together. And then people take action when they're ready, not when you're ready. So by definition, you have to have trust built ahead of when they're ready. If they're ready and you have built no trust with them, they're not buying from you. They're buying from those they trust. If they've built trust with you and they're not ready, they're not buying from you or anybody else because they're not ready. If you try to force them to buy when you have trust built, because you have trust built and they're not ready, you will lose that trust. So they will not buy then or when they are ready because you destroyed your own trust. Build massive value and trust with people. So when they're ready, they will come to you, the go-to source. So that's session 3. Man, are we having some fun? Let's get ready for session 4. It is Prep for Success. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for being here. God bless.